to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Hello everyone. This is Kira's show here. It's probably been about 10 minutes since the last part, so the video just got edited. I put my intro in. I've also just got it uploaded onto YouTube. I was gonna show in a minute that the thing was still there, but it disappeared after I came back from the bathroom. And I got my coffee, I helped my mom out, so I should be fine for the next couple, I would say hour, but that's not likely. Anyways. Now then. Whenever we last left off, Deku had actually just saved Bakugo. And Jiro and Deku are actually quite friendly with each other. And what I mean by that is, both of these two have actually met. And they actually do share a fondness for music. So they are actually going to be hanging out over the next 10 months. Now what I mean by that is, Deku would have gotten the offer. Well, let's cut to Deku and me. No, wait, Deku and me. Deku and Mina. No, Deku and Jiro. Oh god, I'm so used to doing the Yu Yu Hakusho what if now. Crap. That's gonna trip me out whenever I go back to it. Anyways, I am gonna try and make this part longer. So I hope that works. I'm gonna try and make this part. Okay. I'm going to record this at 20 minutes, and then I'm going to try and cut this together with another 20 minutes. Or if that doesn't work, no, I'll just keep it at 20, never mind. I'll just directly record the next 20 minutes after this one. Okay, I got that figured out. Anyways, oh crap. Anyways, whenever we last left off, Deku and Jiro were actually still talking, and they actually left Bakugo. Now, Deku and Jiro, they're actually walking in the same direction, because Deku lives over in a different part of the city. Well, not a different part of the city. He still lives by the same area he lived in canon, but it's more towards where Jiro's house is this time. And now then, after this, Deku would get a spidey sense that something's about to happen. But the spidey sense is like really ambiguous. It doesn't know if it's good or bad. Basically, imagine Spider-Man being around Deadpool all the time. His spidey sense would just be going off 24/7 because he would not know what the hell Deadpool would ever do. Now then, after this, All Might would pop out and reveal himself. Deku and Jiro actually do go all fanboy and fangirl on All Might. And then he would shrink down, and they would be confused. Deku would actually he would shoot a web at All Might and string him to the ground. Now, when this does happen, All Might asks Deku to please remove the web. Deku would say that it's not going to be removed until the proper authorities arrive. Or until the cops arrive. He would then pull out his phone and start dialing 911 or the emergency service number for Japan or... Crap, what country does My Hero Academia take place in? I don't think they even say anything about that. Anyways, that is a lot of information we need. Anyways, after this, Deku starts calling the number. This is when All Might would say that he doesn't need to do that. He'll give him an explanation, and that's whenever he can decide if he's the real All Might or not. Deku would then he would put his phone away and actually rip up the webs so that All Might is free. All Might would actually be quite surprised because those things did not feel like they were going to budge at all. And this would actually make him give less question about offering his quirk to Deku. He would then offer up One for All to Deku, saying that he was he would give the whole explanation of how he was injured and all this, and Jiro just would be standing there looking at this, thinking, what is going on? What have I got myself into? He would then say that he can train Deku so that he can actually use One for All, and then Deku would state that, yeah, he's gonna have to say no. All Might would ask what he means by that. Deku would say that his quirk is essentially spider. He has all the abilities of a spider. He can shoot webs. He has a sixth sense. He has super strength and enhanced speed. Now, All Might, whenever he does hear about this, he would ask Deku how much can he lift. Deku would state that he can lift approximately 100 times, if not around over that, of his own body weight. All Might would actually be really impressed by this. And then after that, Deku would then state that if you're going to give a quirk like that to anyone, why not give it to her? Jiro would then ask, like, what? Wait, what? This is whenever he would state that, yeah, you said that your quirk isn't very... Well, your quirk, you still want to train it more, right? If One for All is an enhancement quirk, then it not only will boost your quirk, it also make you stronger. Oh, crap, I almost spilled my cup. Anyways, this is whenever All Might would say that if that's the case, then she's gonna have to train to actually get stronger for One for All. Because if she doesn't do it properly, then that means her body could actually kind of explode. Deku would then say that that's useful information, but also you kind of need to like state that first when offering up power. Jiro would actually say that, well, she did want to train because she's going to try and get into UA. Deku would actually be really surprised to hear this. Well, he wouldn't be surprised because they were talking about it a lot. But he would state that, well, we're both going to be heroes, so might as well try and have as much power to protect people, right? All Might would actually really like Deku because he doesn't see any selfish purpose for him to be a hero. Because Deku, he doesn't have that whole Uncle Ben backstory any Spider-Man has. It's just... Well, I was going to say it's just normal, but the normal for any backstory is dead parents. Yeah. It's bad how that's basically any origin story for a superhero or a supervillain. Anyways, after that, they would start training. Jiro would actually start training with Deku a lot, and they're actually at the beach trying to clean it up. Deku would say that, oh, they're going to be just cleaning up the beach? That's very simple. He would then actually pick up a car and actually just start carrying it over. All Might would be surprised because of how effortless Deku is actually carrying it. And this is whenever Deku would actually just throw this car probably over 2,000 feet. Well, he wouldn't throw it 2,000 feet, but he would throw it around 1,000 feet away toward like where they could store everything over. Actually, no. Deku would just pick it up and he would just calmly place it down while it just creates a loud thud. All Might would then state that Deku is actually not going to be training with Jiro then. Oh, hey. Thank you. Alright, thank you, Noah. That's actually really surprising to me also. Okay, anyways, that he's going to be training with All Might. Or not training with All Might. All Might is going to bring him some special weights to train with. This is whenever Deku would actually have a run-in with the Yaoyorozu company. Now, Mr. Yayorozu, Momo's dad, he would actually be approached by All Might in his buff form and ask if he can have some specialty weights. He doesn't really exactly know what he means by this, but he would see that Deku seems kind of rebellious and is kind of like that. And Deku would actually state that he was actually raised in a different country, but he is from here. Because he kind of doesn't really have that. He has that look of a foreigner on his face. That confused and amazed look. Where he just looks dumbstruck. Anyways, after this, Deku would actually see that they have a lot of different stuff they need moved. And these are all like super heavy cargo containers. Now, Mr. Yayorozu would actually say that Deku, if he can move all this stuff from one place to another, he might actually get some compensation, or even a favor from Mr. Yayorozu. Deku would actually state that he doesn't really need a favor, but he can move all this stuff for him. He would then walk over and pop his knuckles, and then he would just pick up a cargo container. Now, this would actually shock both All Might and Mr. Yayorozu, because he would state that that thing is carrying over 2 tons of equipment. And Deku is just quite simply walking with it super easy over the top of his head. Now, after that, Deku would actually begin moving a lot of this stuff over day by day. And he's actually finding it pretty easy. Now, this is whenever All Might would actually ask him if there's anything super, super heavy that Deku can mess with. Deku kind of would just say that he doesn't really think so, because he kind of knows what kind of weight might be required for him to actually work out with, and it's going to be over 30 tons. Actually, no, wait, hang on, give me a minute. Okay. It's actually going to be a little over 10 tons. So he would have to have probably about a couple tons of dumbbells. This is whenever he would then make a phone call on his phone and actually be asked by Deku if he is going to be going to UA, because his daughter has a recommendation. Now, after this, Deku would state that he is going to go to UA, and why is he asking? He would then state that his daughter's going to be going there also, and that she wants to get stronger and actually train her quirk better. So this is whenever Deku would actually meet Momo. And wait, I'm doing the whole Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane dynamic. Ah, crap, brain. Why did you automatically do that? Okay, yeah. Anyways, he would then meet her, and she would create. Well, they would go to the beach, and Deku would introduce Momo to Jiro, and how All Might's actually training both of us. So she would actually be let in on the secret, but she kind of wouldn't think about it very much, because she would think if she can become a worthy successor, All Might choose her. But after some brief thinking about it, the more muscle means that she wouldn't have as much fat lipids in her body to use her quirk. So it would actually be very negative for her to have one for all. So she would actually just help Deku and Jiro clean up the beach, and she would actually create these super, super heavy weights for Deku. And yeah, these things are probably around 5 tons for a dumbbell, and somewhere around 10 to 15,000 pounds in plates for Deku to use for Deku to use a bench press. After this, All Might would come to the beach and actually see Deku doing this, and he'd ask Deku why he's messing around, and Deku would say that, oh, he's not messing around, he's actually working out. Momo, Mr. Yayorozu's daughter, actually gave him some specialized weights. He would then ask like, if that's a joke or not, and All Might would come over and actually try picking up one of these weights and actually realize how heavy it is. And if he thinks that this is heavy, this must be very heavy for Deku. So, yeah, after that, Jiro and Momo are cleaning up the beach, actually helping All Might, and they would get the beach done in probably, let's say, 6 to 7 months. So that means 3 more months until the entrance exam. Momo would have actually asked Deku for some advice about her quirk and whether or not she should try creating different things with it, because she ever only creates primitive style of weapons. Deku would say that she kind of needs to look into something more sophisticated. She would ask what he means by this, and he'd tell her that she should probably try delving into some science stuff and some more modern weaponry. He would then teach her quite a bit of chemistry, because of how he made his spider grenades, and how if he does this chemical compound, this much of that, he will get the spider grenade, and then he would then throw it and show Mo how it works. Now, she would actually be quite surprised by this, because it's very... The way Deku looks with his jacket, he doesn't really seem very intelligent, but he has a very high IQ. And Momo actually could perfectly understand what Deku was saying. It's just that the speed he was going at was kind of frustrating to deal with. Now, after that, Momo would actually be delving into some science stuff and actually ask Deku quite a bit about his weapons, or why his quirk is like that, or if Deku is going to be using any support items. Deku would say that he will have one of his support items is actually going to be a belt to hold spider grenades, but it's also going to be so he can carry small containers of web fluid. One would ask what he means by that, and he would state that whenever he throws these little glass bottles, they would actually, not only would they land on someone, they would completely cover and harden someone's body. It'd cover them in a sticky substance and actually cover their body. So it's a capture weapon. She would then kind of actually really like this idea that Deku has for it and be impressed by it. So she would ask Deku, like, if she can try something. Or if she can show him something. Deku would then oblige and actually show her one of the things he can do with his quirk. He would shoot the webs out of his wrist and actually start swinging something around. Now, this actually does really impress Momo, but she doesn't know if she could do something like that. So, instead of trying to copy Deku, she would actually try going her own way with some things. Now, she isn't going to do what Momo did in my other What If, where she creates the whole nanites and does all that. But she would actually try doing some of the things Deku can do, like swinging around, doing all that, but she finds it very, very difficult. So, after that, she would actually start looking into creating different types of weapons. Yeah, she could probably still look into using guns. It would be similar, but these guns are actually going to probably be more of her main weapon. Anyway, she would start looking into creating guns and all that kind of stuff like that. Deku would actually give her some ideas, because he would state that some of the cops back where he used to live at, whenever they would conduct raids, they would actually use full metal jacket rounds. Now, they're actually, well, not full metal jacket, but they would use specialized rounds and grenades and stuff like that whenever they used to raid warehouses they were always at. Now, Jiro would have actually heard this because they are still at the beach, and she would ask what Deku means by that. He would state that whenever he used to live back in his home, well, his town, enter town name here, and you still need to look that up. They would always conduct raids on warehouses because they were always throwing parties there and always playing loud music. And the coppers didn't really like that. Now, it's that phrase that Deku used that really catches your attention. Coppers. Now then, she would kind of know about Deku's live streams about the whole Spider-Man thing or Spider-Punk because she would have seen a blackened version of this mask with the spikes on it. But she couldn't really understand it because Deku was speaking in a form of English, just with a very, very heavy Brooklyn accent or a very heavy English accent. But yeah. Anyways, okay, yeah, no. After that, All Might would actually start training Deku and Jiro physically in combat, and Jiro would actually get one for all because she's tried using some of the weights Deku can use, but she can not even lift them. So Momo would have created smaller versions of those weights, or more or less heavy versions of those weights by using a different metal or different things. Now after that, Momo, well, oh my god. Anyways, after that, Jiro would actually be somewhat stronger than Canon Deku. What I mean by that is she's had more bodybuilding training, so she's actually stronger. So she would get one for all early. Now then, I'm gonna have to be leaving this off right here, guys. I have to go help my mother real quick. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video.